On November 9, 2025, astronomers captured something they can't quite explain. The strangest images yet of the interstellar object known as 3I Atlas. Massive jets of gas and dust are shooting millions of kilometers into space. One stretches nearly 3 million kilometers, another more than 1 million. That's about 7 times the distance between Earth and the Moon. But here's where things stop making sense. According to new calculations, this object is losing around 50 billion tons of material every single month, even though the entire comet is estimated to weigh only 33 billion tons in total. In other words, it seems to be shedding more mass than it actually has. If that's true, the physics we rely on to understand comets completely falls apart. Is 3I Atlas breaking into hundreds of fragments? Or is there something happening out there that we've never seen before? Stick around, because in the next part, we'll break down what these new images reveal, what the math really says, and why this single discovery could change how we understand visitors from beyond our solar system. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. When scientists first spotted 3I Atlas back in July, the Hubble Space Telescope only showed a faint, glowing cloud surrounding it, nothing too unusual for a comet. But just a few months later, the new November 9th images revealed something completely different. Enormous. Powerful jets stretching thousands of times larger than before. To put it simply, what looked like a small haze in July has now exploded into gigantic streams of gas and dust spanning millions of kilometers. Now, normally a comet has one main tail that points away from the sun. That happens because of something called solar wind, a constant stream of charged particles that blows outward from the sun at nearly 800,000 miles per hour. Think of it like a giant cosmic leaf blower pushing the comet's gases backward. But here's the strange part. 3I Atlas has jets pointing both away from the sun and toward it. For that to happen, those jets must be incredibly dense, powerful. And unlike anything scientists have seen before, it gets even more puzzling when we remember that similar antitails have only been recorded a few times in history, always under extreme conditions. Back in 1992, comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 got too close to Jupiter. The planet's gravity tore it apart into 21 separate pieces, and when those fragments slammed into Jupiter 2 years later, the explosions were larger than Earth itself. Another case was Comet Holmes in 2007, which suddenly brightened and released a massive expanding cloud, shocking astronomers everywhere. So could 3I Atlas be going through something similar? Maybe it's not a single object anymore, but a swarm of fragments, each releasing its own jet of gas and dust. That could explain the impossible mass loss in those massive jets stretching millions of kilometers into space. But there's a problem. No one knows for sure if it's really breaking apart. And if it isn't, then this object is defying every rule of physics we know about comets. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll dive into the math behind this mystery, calculations that shocked scientists, and why one of them believes we might be witnessing something the universe rarely shows us when Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb analyzed the new data from 3I Atlas. He ran into a number that simply shouldn't exist. Based on the strength of those jets and the amount of gas they're ejecting, the comet appears to be losing around 50 billion tons of material every single month. But here's the catch. Scientists estimate that the entire object weighs only about 33 billion tons. That's like watching a car run out of more fuel than it ever had in its tank. Yet somehow, it's still running. It shouldn't be possible, so how can this be happening? Loeb's explanation points to something extraordinary. He suggests that 3I Atlas might have shattered into hundreds, maybe thousands of smaller fragments. When an icy object like this approaches the sun, the side facing the heat begins to boil and crack, while the darker side stays frozen. Those huge temperature differences cause immense pressure inside the body. Eventually, stress builds until the comet literally snaps apart, like glass cracking under fire. Once that happens, all those new fragments expose fresh ice to sunlight at the same time. Suddenly, more gas escapes from more surfaces, and the jets multiply in size and number. That could explain why 3I Atlas suddenly went from a faint smudge to a storm of enormous plumes, spanning millions of kilometers. But here's the real twist. Even if it has fragmented, the intensity and direction of those jets still don't fully match what normal comets do. Something else may be at play here. Something we don't completely understand yet. And if 3I Atlas hasn't shattered, if it's still one massive solid object, Then we're looking at the first comet in history. To defy the basic laws of physics, in the next part, we'll explore what makes 3I Atlas even stranger, its backward orbit, its eerie alignment with our solar system, and why some astronomers believe this interstellar visitor might be hiding an even deeper secret, as if the mass loss wasn't strange enough. 3I Atlas is also moving in a way that breaks another rule of our solar system. Almost everything that orbits our sun, planets, moons, even most comets, travels counterclockwise when viewed from above the North Pole of the sun. But not 3I Atlas. This mysterious object is going the opposite way. A rare, retrograde orbit that only about 1 or 2% of objects ever follow. That alone is unusual, but it gets even weirder. 3I Atlas isn't just orbiting backward. Its path is perfectly lined up with the same flat plane where all the planets orbit. Imagine our solar system as a giant plate spinning in space. Most interstellar visitors come flying in from above or below that plate at random angles. But 3I Atlas didn't. It arrived almost perfectly along the plate's surface, something that has a 1 in 500 chance of happening by pure luck. Now think about what that means. A giant object moving opposite to everything else, perfectly aligned with the solar system's orbital plane and losing more mass than it should even have. This strange pattern reminds scientists of another visitor that once baffled the world, Oumuamua. That flat, cigar-shaped interstellar object in 2017 didn't behave like any comet ever observed. It accelerated as it left the solar system without showing the kind of gas tail a normal comet would. Some said it was natural. Others, like Avi Loeb, wondered if it might be something built, not born. The difference? Oumuamua was small, a few hundred feet long. 3I Atlas is massive, over a mile wide, and billions of tons in weight. And yet, it's showing the same kind of impossible behavior. So what are we really looking at here? A natural comet pushed to its breaking point. A cluster of shattered fragments drifting through space. Or something that doesn't fit into any box we know. In the next and final part, we'll piece everything together, the jets, the orbit, and the impossible math, and explore the one scenario that could explain it all, and what it might mean for us. If 3I Atlas really is breaking apart, it might be the most valuable scientific opportunity of the decade. Every fragment, every dust trail, every jet of gas carries chemical clues about where it came from, clues written in its ice, its metal, and its light. Studying those signatures could finally reveal what materials exist in other star systems and how alien comets form compared to ours. But there's another possibility that's even more fascinating. Some astronomers argue that 3I Atlas isn't a natural comet at all. Its spin, shape, and acceleration don't fit any known pattern. One research team from Europe suggested it could be a thin film object, something with a broad, reflective surface, almost like a solar sail. If that's true, it might not just be drifting. It could be navigating. No one is claiming proof of anything artificial yet, but the numbers don't lie. The mystery is growing every week, with its disintegration speeding up. Scientists are racing to capture the final data before 3I Atlas vanishes. Forever, what it leaves behind might not just rewrite the story of interstellar visitors. It could change the way we look at intelligent life beyond our sun. And as we head into the next chapter of this cosmic mystery, one question remains. What if 3I Atlas wasn't meant to survive the journey? As 3I Atlas drifts farther from the sun, it's fading fast, almost like it's deliberately erasing its trail. Each telescope image shows less and less of its core until only faint gas clouds remain. Some scientists say it's simply evaporating. Others think it's hiding something inside those clouds, maybe a dense fragment. Maybe something we don't yet have the tools to detect. The strangest part. For 3 nights in a row, observatories in Hawaii, Chile, and Spain all reported a brief spike in reflected light, as if something inside 3I Atlas had flashed back at them before vanishing completely. It wasn't sunlight. It wasn't an error, but no one can explain it. Now, as the object disappears into the darkness between the stars, the mystery deepens. Was 3I Atlas just a fragile piece of ice from another solar system, or could it have been a messenger? carrying something we weren't ready to see? Whatever it was, it's gone now. And the next time something like it enters our skies, one thing is certain: the world will be watching much more closely. Stay curious. Because space still holds secrets we're only beginning to understand.